So I'm getting ready to go to IKEA, and I think I'm gonna do something. I wanted to wear like a hoodie like anybody who's trying to be comfortable, but I was like, it's gonna be like a decent kind of like, you know, professional adult meeting, so I think I'll dress up a little bit more appropriate, I guess. So just a pair of jeans and this black comfy sweater that I got at Kohl's. It is, where it be, old no name. Now it's Chaps. Yeah, it's Chaps. And then I think I'll throw my little locket necklace that I got on top of it, so that way, you know, we could just pull it all together. If you guys could guess who is in the locket, you're going to get something. You're going to win something from me one of these days. Whoever can guess who's in the locket, it's not a family member. It is a character from like Hollywood or cinema or film or movies or TVs or whatever, you know, somebody who's on television or on the big screen or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, if you can guess who's in the locket, you will win a prize. I don't know what it is yet, but you will win something. So it's ridiculous. My sister is just doing kind of like a little goofy type of crazy inside joke type crap. It's ridiculous, but I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get dressed. Okay, so this is how I'm looking. Pretty simple, and I think it's a clean look. I don't know whether I should have the hair down like this or if I should put it up and put it up. You know, I don't know. Most people probably will be like, hair down, you're going to a meeting, you don't want to look like a cheerleader, you know. So I don't know. I'm gonna go moisturize my face because these radiators in the apartment just pretty much, they suck all the moisture out of your skin. Okay, so I got my necklace on, almost ready pretty much. I just wanted to show you guys the two products that I'm using for my face right now. I just washed it with like a Dove bar soap, the sensitive one that has like no scent, or it's like the very sensitive one. I don't know. I'll see if I could possibly insert a picture of that particular soap there. And usually after I do that, I put like an exfoliant or exfoliator. Since my skin is so dry right now because of the weather, of course, and you know, the heat that's pouring into the living space, I'm just going to skip that step today or for this morning, and maybe I might do it in the evening when I go to bed. So what we're going to use is the Naturium Niacinamide Serum, 12% plus zinc 2%. I think this one's very popular. You can find it on Amazon for a decent price, I guess. It lasts me almost a month, so about like 3 weeks or so. Okay, so that's on my face now, and I have pretty reactive skin. So it's like you literally touch it, certain portions of my body, whether it's like my arm, my thigh or leg or whatever, or my face, and it'll become a little red. That's not a problem, it goes away. It's like, I call that blood flow, but I'm very, very sensitive. And then this one I got as like a gift for, you know, my birthday from Sephora, you know, the free little gifts that you get. So it is First Aid Beauty's Ultra Repair Cream, Intense Hydration for Dry, Parched Skin, and it is safe for sensitive skin, so they say.
So they say.
It literally is like hand cream that you can use for your hands, your neck, anything really. It doesn't necessarily say that it's for the face. Yeah, because it says that you can apply this as needed from head to toe throughout the day. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some as well, and then take off my glasses too. So maybe about this much. And I need to put something on the lippies. Ew. Did I just say that? It's because I was just reading Matthew McConaughey's book. Oh, that's so gross.
You were thinking it. I know, but you said it. I know.
Sorry about that, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put something on la boca, la bouche. Alrighty, so this is how it all turned out. The camera went dead kind of because of the storage, but I'm thinking it's because I said lippies and I got disgusted by that word. So yeah, this is how it all turned out. Don't forget to try to guess. I feel like Rumpelstiltskin a little bit. Guess who's in the locket. I'll let this go on as long as I have the channel until somebody guesses correctly who the person is. You have to guess both the correct actor, actress, and the character. You have to guess the character. So yeah, so this is what it looks like. I applied the First Aid Beauty moisturizer. Skin feels pretty good. I was gonna do a little mascara, but I was like, I'm gonna have to take that off later. And who wants to do that? Nobody. So yeah, I think it's a pretty simple and crisp and sweet outfit, and it'll protect me from the little chill and cold that's out there. Oh God. So I just ran into this kind of maintenance guy in my building. He's kind of a little bit of a creepo. I'm not just saying that, you know, just to say that. I'll let you know a little more in the car. Ooh, that was a little scary. My car didn't want to start. For a second, my heart sank, and then it just went. I think it's just because of the cold. It's not used to it. Yeah, so the guy, the janitor, super fast before we're on our way. He's just always, oh, yes, he's lingering. It's the building. That's his job, to take care of the building and, you know, fix whatever breaks, to clean up things, put the salt out, etc., etc., etc. But the real creepy thing that got me was there's just something I always do whenever I'm like taking the elevator, just because I don't know, I hate elevators. I was going up to my apartment after maybe doing some laundry or moving the car or throwing out the trash, whatever it was. I was in the basement and I was going up. I hit my floor number, and then I always hit another floor number, right? Like, let's just say it was 8, okay? So then one day I saw him, and I don't know, like he held the door open for me at the basement, and then he was trying to push the button for me because I had something in my hand, and I'm like, I'm perfectly capable, you know what I mean? And it's not that, you know, I'm not gonna accept help or anything. Like, I'm an independent, help is help. But he's like, 8th floor, right? I was like, I was like, what? When he said that, I was like, you're paying attention a little too closely. So that's the very reason why I punched. Oh my God, it's just so weird. It's like, that's not the floor that I'm actually on, thank God. But he said that floor number, and I was like, bro, what are you doing? That's very weird. Don't do that. Don't you understand that's like weird? Oh my God. Yeah, but he's like much shorter than me, so I think I could squash him.
Take a look, take a glimpse of my mind. Take the hook, feel it on your heartstrings. Feel the pull, know it's only starting. Take a grip of falling. Let it slip, the feeling is enthralling. All at once, I'm living with a meaning. What's apart, I'm looking at you. And you're looking at me.
So that was a very long but fruitful meeting with the IKEA rep. I got to know a lot of information about countertops and sinks and cabinetry and all the little hardware and faucets, etc., etc., all of the things. I now know that there's like a different price for certain things, including like the installation and the actual price of the product and etc., etc. So yeah, it was a very fruitful meeting. The lady was so nice. She was so darn nice and kind and sweet, and she answered all my questions, so I'm super grateful about that. So now I gotta get back home, but before I do, I was like, there's a Panera around here and there's also a Chick-fil-A, so I'm trying to decide which one I would like to go to. The Chick-fil-A I think will be faster than the Panera, even though the Panera will be healthier than the Chick-fil-A. So I don't know, like, I'm pressed for time, to be very frank. I gotta go. Like, you gotta go, you gotta go. I gotta go. So I think I'm just gonna do the drive-through for Chick-fil-A, unfortunately, but it's still gonna taste good. Alrighty, I'll catch you guys back home where we're gonna be reading our comic, Batman, and maybe something else. I'm not quite sure what else we're going to be reading today, but yeah. You too. Okay guys, so I am back home. I've had such a good morning because of the weather, of course. It's been quite sunny. We have a beautiful blue sky out there, and I went to IKEA for this kitchen installation consultation. Consultation. Yeah, the lady was super nice there. She was just so receptive. She listened to my questions. She let me speak, and you know, we went around the department to pick and choose the different hardware and cabinetry and countertops and all of the things for the kitchen. So I cannot wait to make that update. It is going to be such a beautiful, sweet looking kitchen once it is renovated. Yeah, this is a very old kitchen that is kind of crumbling a little bit, and it has gotta go. It's just going to make the whole apartment more agreeable and pleasant. It just a better environment. I did stop by Chick-fil-A after, and I was able to grab like a quick little snack, nothing too crazy, and that was pretty good. So good. And what else? Yeah, and now we're back here. So I just wanted to fill you guys in on the books that I decided to do for today. We are going to be doing the Detective Comics 80 Years of Batman. So we got that right there. Yeah, so I'm so excited for this. This is basically just a book that just kind of chronicles Batman's development through the years. His first issue, I believe, was sometime in May for Detective Comics in 1939, pretty much a year after The Man of Steel came out. So obviously Batman is the Caped Crusader. He goes by the Dark Knight. I used to think that Heath Ledger's Joker was the Dark Knight because of his death around that, you know, the same time that the movie came out. I was like, I don't know. It was like dark, you know, evil. And I'm like, I don't know, momentary lapse of sanity. So I used to think Joker was called the Dark Knight for some reason. You just, you know, you're not clued into things all that much, even though I have been watching Batman stuff since I was a baby, because that's what we do in this household. We love superheroes, especially the DC kind. So yeah, the Caped Crusader, Batman came on the scene in the late 30s, right before the Second World War. He is absolutely brilliant. He's smart, wicked smart. And hey, that's kind of funny because Ben Affleck, wicked smart. Yeah, he came on the scene in the late 30s, and he just uses his wit, and he's just quite incredible. One of the most beloved characters, superheroes around the globe. Obviously, over the years, his costume has changed, and it's become more modern and more stealthy, or a little bit bulkier, depending on who's drawing and who's designing the outfit. But yeah, he's completely smart.
My boy's wicked smart.
And he's absolutely strong and capable, and a very complicated character that, you know, pretty much always fights for justice. Who's gonna fight for friends and freedom? Batman. Yeah, I know that some of the inspiration for his character was taken by Leo da Vinci's artwork because he was coming with, like, I don't know, sketches and ideas for different flying machines, and bats were the topic or the animal that was, you know, inspiring da Vinci's work. Also, of course, Zorro, he is this masked vigilante that also has, you know, inspired Batman's overall look as well. Batman's character just comes from a bunch of different places to just create this pretty cool guy. And of course, out of the costume, he is this billionaire with a B, Bruce Wayne, who is kind of like a socialite, and he just uses his investigative prowess to, you know, to solve crimes and punch bad guys. Pow! I just wanted to show you guys the inside of the book. It is just absolutely vibrant and gorgeous. I'm just so grateful for this sun right now. It is so nice to film when it is absolutely sunny. Okay, so I'm just going to read a little bit of this from, it is the Batman with Robin the Boy Wonder. This is, I'm trying to find, they're not saying the specific issue, but it's this one. I'll try to get back to you on that one, but... Again, Batwoman uses a flashing feminine trick. Okay, that's kind of funny because, you know, the movie. It's tear gas number 5. The rest of the Jewel mob, they were going to trap us in this blind alley with their car. This little paper boy. Extra, Batwoman saves Batman again. And then somebody in the Batmobile. I think it's Robin and Batman. And she slipped away again, Batman. She's making you look bad. I don't care about that, but I do worry about the risks she's taking. Batman says, she doesn't realize that she's been successful this far because of good luck, and she's also reckless that some criminal is bound to find out her identity. When that happens, she'll die, and she'll be in danger. Robin goes, yet she said that if we could expose her, it would expose you too, Batman. I've got to risk that and reveal her identity to prove to her she can't keep this up, and if only we knew where her secret base is. So yeah, they continue on, and it looks like he's about to meet up with her, and he's like, if only I could find out what her identity is. And so she admires Batman. If only I could tell her that I'm Batman, but I can't. So yeah, fun stuff. We're gonna go ahead and start reading this, and I can't wait to get into that. The second book that we're gonna focus on is The Sun Is Also a Star, because it's such a bright and sunny day. So The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I know that this is a story about a young African-American girl. I can't even say that really, but she's Jamaican. This young black girl who's Jamaican, and she's basically going to be kicked out of the United States. She's going to be deported. So I have started this actually, and it's pretty good so far. So we see that this girl is absolutely worried about, you know, leaving Manhattan where they live. Yeah, so she's kind of freaking out that she, you know, has to leave the US, and she's quite troubled by that. You can see that she's, you know, in the process of packing up her books and things of that sort, and she's headed to the United States Citizen and Immigration Services, USCIS. She has to go through the whole, you know, security check where they put, you know, the bag through the conveyor belt and x-ray it, and you get wanded and all that stuff. So yeah, she's not too happy. And then on the other side, because it's like two stories that are parallel to each other, we have the story of the Asian side, the Korean side, where this guy Daniel is with his family, and somebody just recently got kicked out of Harvard, and that's an issue, of course, in that family, because it's like, oh my gosh, this is an embarrassment, and you know, we don't understand why you're not going to school right now. And so that's the main story that's going on. So I'll fill you guys in on how it's going a little bit further throughout the day, and I hope that I enjoy the stories that are being told. So what do you guys think of my hair? I tried to do something a little bit different today. I was like, you know, putting it up just to be a little bit more fun and whatnot. I kind of feel like one of the Spice Girls a little bit. I don't know the names. Scary Spice, Posh Spice, Poshy Spice, Baby Doll Spice, Pepper Spice, Sporty Spice. I think I named them all pretty much, but not really. Yeah, so I was just trying to go for a different look, so hopefully that works. So let's get into these.
got good flavor like yours, Tony. Do I have to tell you again how you gotta add the orange zest, Cecil? You gonna make me give you the recipe again? Huh? You're killing me here, Cecil. Killing me.
Okay guys, so quick reading update. I've gotten a good chunk of the story completed. I'm on page 142. Okay, so just to kind of, you know, give you some context, there's the character named Natasha and the character named Daniel. Natasha is the black immigrant, undocumented immigrant who's going to be leaving the United States in that same day. Supposedly, I'm not at the end, so I don't know. And then there's Daniel, who has this Yale University interview that he has to go to, like this admissions interview. So I'm like honestly kind of bored. To be very frank, I thought I would be more like excited to read this because this is such a an interesting topic. You rarely, not rarely, I wouldn't say rarely because I haven't read too many books, but I never really hear stories about like immigration and things like that. So that's why I even picked up this book to begin with. And also, of course, it has been attached to everything. So, but yeah, so my favorite aspects of the story are Natasha's narratives, her perspectives, because it's just very fiery and fun and those are good. But when Daniel comes on the scene and he's, you know, giving us his point of view, I don't particularly like it. I'm like kind of bored. I just want it to end. I just am completely uninterested and find it like, you know. So one of the very cool things, there was the very beginning of the story. Natasha went to the United States Citizen and Immigration, I don't know why I don't just say USCIS. She went to USCIS, right? And yeah, so she had this interaction with one of the USCIS agents where he's like, the reason for your deportation is because of your father's DUI. And then she's like, that has nothing to do with me. Like, this is his mistake. Why do I have to pay for it? Like, please, this is all I know. This is the country that I've grown up in. She's been here since she was like 8, I believe. And it's completely unfair. And like, what the heck am I supposed to do in a country that I don't know the customs to, the accent, the food, the culture, all of that? That's not where I belong. That's not my home, you know? And the guy was like, you're still here illegally. Yeah. And she's like pretty much holding herself, holding back the tears, right? And then he foolishly, I was like, what is this? He foolishly says, I've been to your country. I've been to Jamaica, he says. He's smiling at the memory of his trip. I had a nice time. Everything is irie there, man. You'll be all right. And that's when I would have flipped my lid too. So basically she goes and says that a man who has probably spent no more than a week in Jamaica is telling me that everything will be irie. She takes her headphone off. This is something she's been wearing the whole day throughout the book. She goes and says, after taking off her headphones, where did you go? I ask. Negril, he says. Very nice place. Did you leave the hotel grounds? I wanted to, but your wife didn't want you to because she was scared, right? The guidebook said it was best to stay on the resort grounds. And then she goes and sits down. So he rests his chin on the back of his clasped hands for the first time since this conversation began. He's not in charge of it. Oh, and she's about like 17 years old, by the way. And then Natasha, the girl, she says, was she concerned about her safety? I put air quotes around safety, as if it weren't really a thing to be concerned about. Or maybe she just didn't want to ruin her vacation mood by seeing how poor everyone really is. The anger I suppressed rise from my belly and into my throat. You listened to Bob Marley and had a bartender get you, you know, some pot, and someone told you what irie means, and you think you know something. You saw a tiki bar and a beach and your hotel room. That is not a country. That is a resort, you know? So I just was like, let him have it. Let him have it. It's true. In almost any place that you go to around the globe, there are certain areas that are just quite scenic and majestic and gorgeous and cleaned up for tourism. Whether that's in Punta Cana, the Dominican Republic, or in certain areas of Haiti, or in India, or etc. South America, I don't care. There are certain places, Mexico even, where it's like, oh, we're just tidying here up, but the majority of the country is in ruins. It's hellish and it's dangerous and it's like not necessarily a place where you are safe. And of course, I'm not saying but that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So she goes, don't tell me I'll be all right. I don't know that place. I've been here since I was 8 years old. I don't know anyone in Jamaica. I don't have an accent. I don't know my family there. Not the way you're supposed to know family. It's my senior year. What about my prom and graduation and my friends? I want to be worrying about the same dumb things they're worrying about. I even just started getting my application together for Brooklyn College. My mom saved for 2 years so she could travel to Florida and buy me a good social security card. A good card is one with actual stolen numbers printed on it instead of fake ones. The man who sold it to her said that the less expensive ones with bogus numbers wouldn't get past background checks and college applications. Yeah, she's like, with the card, I can apply for financial aid. If I can get a scholarship along with the aid, I might be able to go to SUNY Binghamton and other in-state schools. So she's, you know, curious and concerned about college and things of that sort. I like her parts of the book, Natasha's parts, because I don't know, they're more interesting than Daniel's for me. They did meet and they're kind of having that epic one-day adventure. I love stories that are like concentrated in one day. I think that's super, super fun. I'm thinking of like stories like Before We Go that has Chris Evans and Alice Eve. Another one that I recently saw this year, I believe, was Open, with Jack, Eve, and Pippa, and like one other person, because it was like such a small cast where the story just kind of progresses through a golf course and it's really fun and beautiful. So that's another one day kind of story. Reservoir Dogs, The Breakfast Club, maybe Lost in Translation, Groundhog Day, Ferris B's Day Off. Yeah, I think that's all that can pop up in my head. Maybe Die Hard too, but I've never seen that actually. But yeah, so they're having a nice little conversation, and one has to go to a lawyer appointment to discuss immigration, and the other one has an admissions thing, and you know, they're just having a nice little conversation throughout the day. Now, where I stopped, Natasha is described to have this gorgeous large afro, and Daniel, his family is Korean and they own like a black hair care beauty supply store, you know, the typical ones that have faded out posters of girls with relaxed hair or straight hair, or you know what I mean, sun bleach posters and the typical kind of tools and products. And so Daniel at first asks her to wait out here because he knows how his family is, and then internally he was like, it was at that point I you know, I was like, yeah, you did, that's not cool. But he corrected that by bringing her into the store, and then oh my gosh, his father, the Korean he was like, alone now. He handed her this huge white tub of relaxer because she has like big curly poofy hair, and he's like, hair too big, that's what he said in the book. And I was like and she's like, I like it like that. And he's like, you want it like straight, you know. And it's written in a way where you can tell it's like, oh, this isn't the person's first language, English, so it's like, oh, hair too big. I'm like, oh my gosh, my heart sank. I was like, oh no, he didn't. Oh no, he didn't. And then they mentioned Miguk Saram, the American, and they're speaking their little Korean, you know, in front of her face, but behind her face in a sense, because it's like she's not gonna be able to understand that. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I can't wait to watch the movie just to see, you know, how it is. I heard the movie wasn't too great either, but I'm like, oh, I'm just reading it so I can read it. You know what I mean? That's what this is. I forgot to mention that I'm about to head out to the store. It's still pretty chilly out. There should be some snow on the ground as well. I ate this pasta carbonara. It's a little bit too oily and greasy for me, so I'm not really sure that I'd want to be ordering from that place again anytime soon. And I watched JLU, the Justice League Unlimited. Yeah, so I'm just having a really good day. was a successful run. I needed just a few key ingredients for some overall meals and recipes that I'll be doing on the channel, so it was necessary that I got these things in time. It's getting to be a little bit warm out, to the point where you just basically need a hoodie, so I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, it was a successful run. Groceries were heavy, but I'm glad that I was able to walk and just, you know, get out of the apartment. Been reading a little bit of my Batman comic book, my compilation, my curated list of Batman stories. So yeah, I don't know if you can tell how tired I am. I have had quite a full day, and I'm just enjoying kind of like winding down the evening with something very light and simple and something that I love. So the one thing that I have a complaint about this, but I can see this easily being highly rated, is that I'm not quite used to comic book reading, so I really have to kind of prime my eyes for the way that the order that the text or speech is supposed to be read, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I just like turned on my little fake salt lamp and the twinkle lights I have at Astra going on back there. It's just like a little snapshot of all the beautiful scenery and shots that the movie has to offer. It's so nice. It is one of the actual last movies that I saw in theaters before the pandemic hit, so I absolutely love that movie. It's so peaceful, and I hope to watch it over the summer with my mom and just relive it. It is kind of like a thriller. Tommy Lee Jones and Brad Pitt, they did a great job. I think Tommy Lee Jones, yeah, his character just kind of pulls this move towards the very end that just is like absolutely heartbreaking and just, oh God, it sucks. But yeah, the cinematography in that movie is absolutely stunning. It's just so calming and like immersive, and you just feel like I'm like totally reviewing Ad Astra right now, not talking about Batman, but it's like you are just plunged into the sea of like sepia almost, you know what I mean, of color grading and of just high quality vibrant color. I love that movie. It's so good. Yeah, it was that movie and Joker with Joaquin Phoenix and Sassy Bates that I ended up seeing, you know, as one of the last things before the pandemic, like Ad Astra and Joker. And then 1984, Wonder Woman's 1984 was really good as well, and that is pretty much it. So yeah, I've been reading this. I absolutely love it, but you know, I'm just trying to get comfortable with the way that it's written. In my head, I totally just hear the 1920s or the 1940s kind of radio shows and comic shows that they used to have and whatnot. It's like the Cape Crusader, you know what I mean? So it's like that's the kind of voice that I hear, like, get him, that's the Joker. Oh my gosh, yeah, I love it. It's so beautiful, it's so colorful, and just like a little bedtime story that I can go to sleep with, knowing that justice is being served to all these crazy criminals via this character. If I had to ask a question for you guys, I want to know who your favorite superhero character is. Mine, it feels almost like a tie, but it always will be easy to answer. He comes as a close second. Superman is going to be my very favorite. I love him. And then Batman is number 2. So I love this. And yes, I do have a little Batman shirt as well. I had a Joker one on earlier, and you know, it's a whole mood, it's a vibe, it's a moment. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm going to go and shut my eyes and dream of Batman. guys, so it's the next morning. I wanted to just give you the final update for the video. I finished The Sun Is Also a Star. I decided to wear a very bright shirt in honor of completing this book. I actually finished it, I would say, in about 24 hours. So yeah, as I was saying yesterday, I really found certain parts of it to be monotonous and just repetitive. I was bored, especially with the POV, the point of view of Daniel, who's like the guy who's, the person that she likes, like our main character likes. I don't know why I'm like trying to wipe something that's actually on the cover. Yeah, so found some of his parts to be boring. I feel like finally around 190 pages, it finally started getting a little bit more explosive, a little bit more fun and faster pace, a little bit more passionate. I did get a little teary-eyed for an event that happened, and it had nothing to do with the two main characters, but more so because of a death in the family. So I was like, not a tear to roll down my cheek, but I got a little like, oh, this is awful. This is life, but it's awful. If you know the story, because this is something that was, published in like 2016, so quite a while ago, you'll know that Natasha's father, Natasha is the girl who's supposed to be deported, the main character, the girl. Her father is absolutely feckless and like he's completely useless and just irresponsible and just, oh my God, he's just so selfish. I hate him, his character, as much as she kind of really dislikes him as well. Yeah, the romance between the two characters was like back and forth. It was sweet and cute in certain areas, and then they kind of dispersed and kind of broke up a little bit during the story, throughout the story. So it's like they kind of came together and then fell apart, and then came together and fell apart a little bit. So that was kind of interesting and whatnot. So it had a good ending, sure. If I don't want to spoil anything like that. It had a good ending. Not the type of ending that I like, really, because I don't like when things like do time jumps. I'm not a fan of things like that. So yeah, that's the basis of The Sun Is Also a Star. I'm glad I finally read it because it was on my 2022 reading goals, and I really just wanted to get this completed and just like finished, you know what I mean? So I'm happy to have read this, and I can't wait to see the movie. I really expect for a lot of the book to be in the movie, because this book is like not even that big. It's not that dense and packed with a lot of scenes per se. They're like kind of doing like that one day kind of adventure. So I expect to see a good chunk of the book in the movie. So if that doesn't happen, I'm really going to be disappointed. But yeah, it was cute. It was cute for what it was. I think, I don't know, I know this is young adult and whatnot, but I think I just need more mature books, or maybe that just wasn't for me. My brain about, a few years ago may not have thought the same as today, but I'm like, I need a little bit something more beautiful and deep, and just like, oh my God, the way that this sentence was written was just, you thought about it and you just wrote it. It's like, wow, it's like quotable and gorgeous writing and stuff like that. Like, character development and world building. I wasn't really getting much of that for this story. So I'm kind of highly disappointed with that. You'll get my rating for my wrap up, but it's a read. If you need to get your eyes moving again, it's a read. And then the gorgeous Batman, he is iconic, and I can't tell you how much I am enjoying this book. I don't think it's being biased and whatnot. It's just, this is just such a beautiful and complicated, complex character that just takes you on a ride. And I love seeing the development through the ages, and I can't tell you enough how much vibrancy there is in... Did you see that? Vibrancy there is in the book in regards to the illustrations. It's just so beautiful. And I'm enjoying the stories quite a lot. They're very compelling, even though it's a comic. It's still just, great to see stuff from the 30s all the way to kind of modern day Batman. So yeah, those are the two books that we're doing. And I'm so happy that, I got this one completed, and I'm almost done with this. So pretty much right now, I'm gonna go clean up the apartment, as it always becomes quite messy when you're shooting videos. And I'm going to pop in the Justice League, one of my absolute favorite TV shows of all time. Okay, I'll catch you guys in my very next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Am I blue? Am I blue? Ain't these tears in my eyes telling you? Am I blue? you'd be too. If each plan that you had done fell through. There was a time I was your only one, but now I'm the sad and lonely one.
Beautiful. And you'll keep your part of the bargain? A deal's a deal. You can stop now.
Not on your life.
I should say.